Okay, quilters, if you are currently surrounded by half finished gifts, a mysterious snowdrift of fabric crumbs, and a to do list that is actually trying to fight you, hi, same. Today is your quilting survival guide for the rest of the season, and maybe even for sewing a little bit after the holidays, because we want to get you to Christmas. But we also want to make sure that you don't fall into the January, what even is my life void. This is a zero shame zone. We're not finishing 14 quilts this month. We're finishing one thing and we're going to keep our eyebrows. Hey friends, welcome to my sewing room. In this video, we're going to do a real talk holiday check-in. We're going to tackle finish panic, that feeling where every UFO in your house suddenly makes eye contact with each other. We're going to talk about gift guilt, which is that spicy little belief that if you don't sew it, you don't love them. And then I'm going to give you some ridiculously easy, realistic plans that can help get you to Christmas, and then what you might want to tackle after the holidays so that your creativity doesn't flatline on December 26th. Also, by the way, if you hear a faint rustle behind me, it's not a ghost. It's just my works in progress pile trying to unionize. We're fine. Let's start with finish panic. It's December and just a couple weeks out from Christmas, and suddenly all your unfinished projects rise up like, hello, mother. We noticed you have thoughts about starting something new. Here's truth. You are not behind. You are in progress, and progress counts, even if it's not wrapped, bound, and sprinkled with fairy dust by Christmas. So we're going to do a quick reset. Pick one project that is closest to done. It is the easiest to finish and will give you a wonderful dopamine hit that says, I did a thing. That is going to become your primary finish. Everything else will become bonus projects. Like if the universe smiles on you, your bobbin doesn't run out, that type of stuff. December Becca is basically a stressed out elf in the back of the quilt shop, whispering maybe just one more project. But January Becca, who's going to tackle all the rest of that, she's rested, she's hydrated, and she's not making decisions under festive pressure. Primary finish equals your goal, but secondary finishes are basically like the party favors or the icing on the cake. This one shift will turn your sewing back into fun instead of a quilting cage match. Now let's talk about gift guilt. This is that weird pressure that says, if I don't make it, it's not meaningful. Or if I buy something, the quilting gods are going to revoke my license. Nope, not today, Satan. We have a new rule for December. Your gifts don't have to be handmade to be meaningful. They have to be thoughtful. Sometimes thoughtful is a quilt. Sometimes thoughtful is a store-bought gift. And sometimes thoughtful is just showing up alive and being kind during the holidays. All of those count. And by the way, you don't owe anyone your hobby. If you want to sew gifts, amazing. If your brain says, I don't want to do this anymore, that's valid too. Even if you haven't finished everything. That doesn't mean you failed. That means your nervous system would like a little tiny hug. And now we're doing something bold and beautiful. Quilt bankruptcy. This is where you have that one project that's been sitting around so long, it has its own zip code, and every time you look at it, you feel guilt, dread, and maybe even hear a faint haunting sound. If a project makes you feel like you need to hide behind the couch when you pull out your sewing machine, you are allowed to release it. That is what quilt bankruptcy is. You look at the project and you say out loud, I'm never going to finish you. And then you just let it go without shame. But here's a bonus plot twist. That UFO that you abandoned could be an amazing gift for a quilter who wants to finish it. Almost like a rescue project or a quilting foster care situation. And you are not a bad person for quitting a project. You're a smart person who wants to sew things that you actually love. Okay, so let's make a realistic plan to get us through the season and into that sweet, quiet stretch after the holidays, because the goal is to not crash on December 26th and never show your face to your sewing machine again. Here are three options for you depending on how your brain, your calendar, or how spicy your life is. Number one, if you want to do a little more holiday sewing, go small and batchable. Think about ornaments, zipper pouches, simple lanyards, or eyeglass cases. These are all things that you can make a couple of without learning a brand new skill at the 11th hour. And batch sewing is the official December cheat code. You cut a bunch, you sew a bunch, and you feel like a wizard at the end. But also remember to stop before your shoulders seize up and you feel like a fainting goat. Next up, I want to talk to the people that are done with Christmas sewing. And done might mean that you finished all of your gifts, or it just might mean that you do not want to do this anymore and you just want to return to being a quality human being. Both are equally valid. After the holidays, that's when you're going to sew for you. Maybe a one block a day reset, a scrap project just for joy, or a slow sew, or honestly, just sitting there, petting fabric and planning. Planning is basically quilting foreplay. I said what I said. Next up, I want to talk to the people whose brains feel like overcooked spaghetti, but you miss quilting and being creative. Here's a gentle tip for re-entry into the creative space. You can tidy your space for 10 minutes or pull fabric that you love. You can make just one block and stop there if you want to. Your goal after the holidays is not productivity. It's connection. Connection to your craft, your calm, and probably your coffee. So that's your Quilter's Christmas Survival Guide. Primary finish only, no gift guilt, and declare quilt bankruptcy if you need it. And make sure you have a real plan to glide through Christmas and into a happy sewing January. If you're in finish panic right now, comment down below. Let me know what your primary finish is or what you might be declaring quilt bankruptcy on. Or if you're tired and you just need a nap, let me know that too, because honestly, same. I've got more cozy, low pressure sewing coming this month, so subscribe if you want to hang out, and I'll see you next Tuesday. All right, friends, go drink some water, rescue a bobbin, and be nice to yourself. Bye!